microphone go up and down the river, right? You never really fight. You never really court case in one newspaper in Southern Oregon in the nearly 40 years that I've lived in this wonderful, beautiful, free state, where real men and women get together, where they produce and they make things function. They get along together. They don't need a law. They don't need a directive. First place, whatever comes out of this thing, any kind of a law or proposal or control over the use of the banks of the river is going to go to a court, because the decision will not and cannot be finalized without that sort of court action and definition of terms and rights and etc. So what we're really concerned with here is, how do the people get along with each other? I don't think that we need more laws. You know, government starts off with a little bit of a control and it ends up with what? The income tax starts off with 0.5% on all of the income over $5,000. Did you know that? 0.5%. Look at how it's growing. Any controls and regulations that come from this board or any other governmental body, because most governmental bodies don't really represent the people as much as they represent those that proffer the monies and allow them to get elected to the office. It seems to me that when the people stand here and sit here and come here to be with all of you as they are this morning, on a very busy work day, I might add, with much to do, it seems to me that you should take notice and concern over how brilliant the public is without any politician's help. If you don't believe that, ask a politician if he thinks the public is smart after they've elected him to office. Back up. Okay, so just do what's it? Here it goes. You see there? All of a sudden I got a degree. Okay, my time is up, but I would say congratulations on being able to live together well for 150 years. Just keep the job going into the next decade. Your children will do just as well as long as their rights and freedoms aren't imposed upon them by laws and more governmental control.
Okay, we define everything we do by the words we speak and write. We define the words we speak and write by the dictionary. American Heritage Dictionary. Navigable. Sufficiently deep or wide to provide passage for vessels. Capable of being steered, use of vessels or aircraft. Navigation. The theory and practice of navigating, especially the charting of a course of a ship or aircraft. Travel or traffic by vessels, especially commercial shipping. Now, definition of a vessel. A craft, especially one larger than a rowboat, designed to navigate on the water. I'm not good at public speaking, so I'm a little nervous. But, okay. DSL continually uses the fact that in 1859, Indians using the Rogue River in their canoes constitutes the Rogue River as being navigable. Furthermore, the DSL compares Indian canoes to modern jet boats regarding how much water they draw. I've owned 2 jet boats, and they draw about 6 inches of water while underway at full speed. However, when at idle, they draw more like 1.5 to 2 feet. Therefore, that comparison is very unrealistic.
1 minute.
Further to that, there were no jet boats around in 1859, which makes the comparison meaningless anyway, along with many other statements by the DSL, all of which continue to be a waste of the taxpayers' money. I live just above the rapids by the Gold Hill Bridge, and I have a clear view of the rapids there on my front porch deck. I chuckle at the thought of seeing a vessel, a true vessel, such as an oil tanker, coming up the rapids in my front yard. Thank you.
Mr. Red Hawk Davis will be on the microphone on the left, and Mr. Greg Eagle Newark will be on the left side.
I'm Richard Red Hawk Davis, administrator within the Gallup. Native American Indian Tribe. Hi, I'm Red Hawk. I'm with the Lagawa Native American Indian Tribe, and I'd like to yield my time to John Greg Eagle Newkirk. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the Honorable Governor. Realizing your past history, a legal scholar, Supreme Court, Attorney General, you certainly know the laws.
Can't hold a job.
Well, if that wasn't true, you wouldn't be here today. Let's look at it. We don't discredit you. Our position is you're talking about ownership of the Rogue River. In 1853, our tribe, with other tribes here, gave away 400 square miles of our land in return for 100 square miles and some trinkets, some blankets that were diseased and started to annihilate our people. Our position here today is have a chart. I should have brought you one, but it's here. It's an original document, and it shows the meandering of the Rogue River. The Rogue River from its confluence all the way from Crater Lake, all the way to the coast at Gold Beach, is controlled and owned yet today legally by the Native Americans. We have never been paid for one dime of this land. You're claiming you own it. You can do what you want with it. Let me conclude real quick and say, I'll guarantee you, Governor and the board, we will be the first, if you put this through, to start your 5-year period of going through the federal courts.
I'm a veteran of World War II. I paid my dues. The whole report here, I've been an entrepreneur and a businessman for all my life. This is probably the second best coulda, woulda, shoulda report I think I've ever read. And I'm surprised any businessman that's on that board or businesswoman would be able to fathom it. I've been on the Rogue River for 30 years. We've had no trouble with it. Fishermen. I'm a fly fisherman myself. Sure, they leave messes. We clean it up. The government's not going to do it. I'm just trying to make a little tiny repair on the Rogue River. In June of this year, I will be going into my 3rd year, waiting for some more of the 16 to 20 approvals that are needed to make a 10-foot repair. Now, I've had 2 of them. One of them said if I hit any mud in the river, ho, 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 as if they could go down the river now and see if there's any mud in it. I could be fined $400,000 and 10 years in jail for making a repair. Now, if the government wants to come on and do that, I'd be really happy to have them do it. One of the previous speakers said he'd like to have us go plant bushes on there. This is against the law. Does he want us to go break the law? We who live on the river, and we've had no trouble. For 30 years, I've had no trouble with any fishermen at all. We are the best stewards of that land because the government will not do it.